Hi guys, the Border Gavaskar Trophy came to an end today, and huge congratulations to Australia who won back the trophy after 10 years and very well deserved. Today for India for me, today's performance by India was a great reflection of how this series has been. It's just been the genius of one man, Jasprit Bumrah, who has kept India in the series till the very final day. But his absence with the ball today was the great differentiator. I am Sadat, you're watching Gully Cricketer. Guys, do consider subscribing and do turn on the notification by pressing the bell icon and leave your feedback in the comment section. I will really appreciate that. So the day started with the news of Jasprit's unavailability with the ball, and that was a great advantage to Australia right at the beginning of the day. And from there on, Australia played the day perfectly. It couldn't have gone better for them. India, needed another 40-50 runs at least, and Jadeja and Washington Sundar, those were the two guys. They are the recognized batter. They had to get the bulk of it, but neither of them did much, and the last four wicket fell for only 16 runs. But make no mistake, 161, 162 to get for Australia to win. Had Bumrah been there, the result could have been completely different. We might be talking in a very different way, but it was not to be. Scott Boland bowled beautifully for Australia. To be very honest, whenever he has come to bowl in this entire series, he has been exceptional. And in this match, he was really special. 4 wickets in the first innings, 6 wickets in the second innings, a 10 for him. But yeah, Australia came to bat, 162 to get, and for Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna and company, I thought they would, rise to the occasion and put up, if nothing else, a great fight. But they were really disappointing. I mean, the first 2-3 overs was it was beyond me. The lack of control, it was astonishing. Australia got to 30 before the end of 3 overs. I mean, and very little of it was from the bat, or rather, half of it is from the bat, half of it was in the form of extras. I mean, it was just too, it was hard to watch. The inexperience, the lack of clarity, the lack of control, it was quite poor. And then from there on, they got Constance out. Sam Constance got 22 of 17 balls. He got out playing a slog. My advice to Sam would be, cut out the horsessery and just knuckle down and play Test cricket. I think he's a better player than the results he has got in the last couple of innings. And some of it is his own doing. I'm pretty sure the Australian management, Cummins, McDonald, they probably wanted him to go about it that way. But I get it, you're 19, but come on, kid, you're better than that. Just put your head down, play hard, grind Test cricket. You do way better than what you have done in this last 2 innings. That would be my advice to him. Anyways, from there on, Prasidh Krishna was erratic. He bowled a few very good balls, but at the same time, his lack of control at times was shocking to be honest, because he's not completely a spring chicken. He made his debut against South Africa, and I'm pretty sure he must have been waiting for this opportunity. And when it came his way, so he got rid of Manas Labuschagne. Labuschagne again tried to guide it, almost like what he did in Melbourne, the second innings. But this time round, Yashasvi Jaiswal didn't drop the catch. And then Smith, who was looking to get to his 10,000 run, fell agonizingly short just by 1 run. The ball jumped. It was a good ball, and again, it was a good catch. Again taken by Yashasvi Jaiswal. But from there on, Travis Head and Bo Webster, and I can't praise Bo Webster. Sorry, first Travis Head came, and Travis Head and Khwaja kept going. Khwaja eventually got out. Khwaja played pretty convincingly, positively, and he just didn't look, scared anymore. that that was the Jasprit Bumrah factor again. I mean, had Jasprit been there, I guess his body language really completely changes Khwaja's. And today he just, just the fact that he knew that Jasprit is not there, I guess made the world of difference to him. He played well for his 41. Uh, but yeah, finally got out to Mohammad Siraj, who I thought was really, really disappointing. Again, it's performances like this. It just he's still a number three bowler. He's still a first change bowler, and he would be disappointed with this because this series was a great opportunity for Siraj to really stand up and prove himself. But and to be fair to him, from the second innings in Melbourne and the first innings in this Test match, he bowled quite well. He bowled with a lot of heart, kept running in and all that. But that alone is not enough. He's still missing that. He's missing that conviction, that consistency to be a number two bowler, and that is a cause for worry for India, and it's a cause for worry for him because is he a lot better bowler than what he was, say, 2 years back? Uh, I have my doubts. So yeah, I mean, Siraj needs to pull up his pants and get on with it. He has to find a way. Uh, so yeah, India's bowling was very average. It was a treacherous wicket, and 162 could have been enough as 185 was. But today the Indian bowlers were absolutely inconsistent. They were all over the place. They sprayed the ball around. It was really disappointing to watch them go about it like this because there's so much on the line. And again, as I said, it was a great opportunity for them to rise to the occasion. They didn't. Anyways, after Khwaja, Bo Webster came, and this man has really, really impressed in this Test match. What a debut innings he has had, debut Test match he has had. In both the innings, he looked assured, he played well. There were a couple of close calls India reviewed, but both the times, it was outside the line of off-stump. So nothing really, really that challenging. And Travis Head went about his business. He was not. Again, I just didn't understand how for the last three innings, Travis Head, the plans for Travis Head were very clear and they were very well executed. Today, just just the absence of Bumrah and people lose their senses or what? I have just disappointing to see that Travis had a easy, nice, breezy 34 runs to himself, and Australia got there in a canter at the end of the day, and that is the bit that India would be really, really disappointed with, because as I said, this was a treacherous wicket. I mean, this still is a treacherous pitch, and 162 could have been and should have been enough. At least they should have made a match of it, which at the end of the day they didn't. Now that all is done, when the dust will settle, there'll be a lot to look at. Yes, this is an Indian team in transition. Rohit and Virat, their forms, for how long will they be there? They need to find form. It's as simple as that. You can play on reputation only for that long. Beyond that, you have to perform. And I hope they find form, because I think India's next engagement is directly in England. That would be again a big series, a huge series, 5 Test match series. Let's hope Virat and Rohit both find form, find a way to succeed, find a way to score runs, because otherwise they're quickly becoming irrelevant to this Indian side. The great positives for India was Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Nitish Kumar Reddy for me was the find of the tour. Though in this Test match he wasn't really at his best. But for the other four, I thought he made really good use of his opportunity. He has good game sense. He comes and tries hard. Obviously his bowling needs to improve. Hopefully he works on that and gets better. I think his style of bowling would work better in England. However, nowadays with the baseball, I mean, English pitches are becoming quite benign to suit that style of play. But yeah, I mean, those two, Yashasvi and Nitish Kumar Reddy, they were the real standout for me. But I have a lot of questions of Gautam Gambhir and this whole leadership group because at this level, a coach, the duty or the job of a coach is primarily to manage and be a good tactician. Uh, to be a good strategist. I think Gautam Gambhir, it's safe to say, has failed on all those accounts in this Test series. The way some of the players have played at times, Rishabh Pant, for example, and the selections. Some of the selections have been baffling, and I think India has got the selection wrong all throughout. Uh, Ever since, I mean, even in the first Test match, which we won, the reason for playing Washington Sundar ahead of Jadeja and Ashwin, I mean, yes, we won the Test match, so nobody questions it. But I don't think that he has got the Indian team has got the selection right at all throughout this Test series. If you look at, the Adelaide Test, for example, from where it all started going south, the pink ball test, that is the test where actually someone like Akashdeep should have played, but he didn't play there. And you look at someone like Harshit Rana, it makes sense to play someone like that in Perth, in Brisbane, but in Brisbane he didn't play. Obviously, at the back of that horrible performance in Adelaide, that was understandable then probably, but those selection was wrong at the first, in the first instance only. It should have been Akashdeep for Adelaide and the other way around, Harshit Rana for Brisbane. And again, I mean, I have said this before in the preview also of this Test match. I just don't get it. Why are you playing two spinners in Australia? I mean, Washington Sundar, I don't think bowled a single over in this Test match. Has he? I mean, even if he did, then at the end of the day, when it didn't matter at all, yes, he bowled one over in the Test match. At the end of the day, when Australia was just cruising, and the faster bowlers were completely tired, and that is when one over was thrown to him. I mean, why did he play? Why did he play in Melbourne, or why did he play in Sydney? Why two spinners played rather? Because Nathan Lyon, I mean, this is the first time. Make no mistake, see, Australia, these wickets were very well curated, keeping India in mind. Obviously, the new Kookaburra ball has also a great role to play in it. But Nathan Lyon, for the longest time, since the time I think Nathan Lyon has been in the Australian team, this is probably the first series in which he has bowled so less. I mean, I think he didn't even bowl 1/10 of what he had bowled in the last series or the one before that. So, and you could see that. You were seeing that. I mean, it's not that India made these mistakes in the first or second test. It happened in fourth and fifth test. He played two spinners for what? Take one look at that wicket. You know there won't be any help for the spinners. So, if you are playing Washington Sundar just to strengthen your batting, then it begs to ask the question that, is Washington Sundar a better batter than Rohit Sharma? Is Washington Sundar a better batter than Shubman Gill? So I think that the selections, the team, it's just been nonsensical for me. Harshit Rana, I think, should have played in this Test match. I'm fine with playing Prasidh Krishna, but play Harshit Rana. Drop a spinner. Yes, you probably are giving up a little bit of batting, but it's all right. It's the batter's jobs to get the runs. I think these calls, all these calls have all added up, and Gautam Gambhir's performance ever since he has taken up the mantle of the head coach is been quite poor. In fact, 3-0 at home against New Zealand, and now this. I don't know whether this is working for India and India's benefit or not. Again, maybe there is a call to be taken there as well. And some players who have disappointed really. Shubman Gill for one. Yes, I couldn't understand his exclusion. in MCG, but I just think he has a short selection problem, a problem in his mind. It's not his abilities. I think it's his mind. He has to get that in order, or otherwise, I think time is kind of running out on him in Test cricket because he's not a spring chicken anymore. It's been 4 years that he's been around, and it is in series like this, in moments like this, when you expect someone like him to stand up and be counted. So he was a big disappointment to me. Mohammad Siraj, as I said before, he still remains a number 3 bowler, and this was a great opportunity for him to really prove his worth, and he has just not been consistent enough. The spinners were disappointing. Yes, there weren't any spin, but Ravindra Jadeja's form of late has been very questionable. I just cannot. I mean, this is the first time I've seen Jadeja being so inconsistent with the ball. I mean, there is no spin, I understand that, but he generally lands the ball, in a handkerchief. He, day in, day out, he can do that, and he just wasn't able to do that in this series whenever he bowled. Not consistently enough. Rishabh Pant, I think, again, the messaging to Rishabh Pant was, I think, bonkers. I mean, why would you try to, curb someone like Rishabh's ability? He was one of the great match winners in the cricketing world. Why would you want to do that? I mean, yes, sure, point him out towards this, that little thing here, there. So again, I think that was a big blunder. And the big question of Virat and Rohit, as I said, and Rahul. I hope he does not become like, Ajinkya Rahane. I mean, he looked like in form, but when you, at the end of the series, when you look at his performances, he doesn't even have one single substantial score. The best he got was 84. And is it good enough? I don't know. It's a question that Rahul needs to ask himself as well, because he has gotten starts, he has looked good, but where is the daddy 100? It's something that he needs to ask. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Ajinkya Rahane. Ajinkya Rahane, I thought always, he would play a stunning innings, and you think, oh, he's in form, he will go on and have a great series. But then there will be another 5 test matches without him getting a single significant score. Rahul sometimes, looks like that to me. He plays well, he gets to, he get that 84, for example, or that 70 odd in the second innings in Perth. But since then, where is that significant score? Where is that daddy 100 that influences a series? So yeah, these are the questions that India needs to find answers to. The positives were Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Kumar Reddy. I think they were, those two guys really stood out for me. Jasprit Bumrah, you can only build a Valsovali statues. He was actually the difference between this result being, say, 5-0 and, 3-1. And if had he bowled today, I think it could have very easily been 2-2. So that's the impact he has had. A generational player, the best bowler of his generation, and who knows, arguably, for me at least, certainly in the top 5 of all-time greats to have ever played the game. There's a lot to, as I said, talk about once the dust settles. But I leave you here today. This was a great series. India had their moments, and Australia, congratulations to them. They played better. They were the better team, and the difference at the end of the day came down to how they played the important moments, the crucial, moments of throughout the series. I think they won those moments consistently, and also the bowling attack. It was one Bumrah who was carrying the entire team along. Whereas when you look at Australia, I don't think Mitchell Starc has ever in his life bowled better than what he did in this series. He always had those great deliveries, but he was never a consistent bowler. He would also spray it around, give a lot of runs. But Mitchell Stark, my God, in this series, he was astonishingly good. And only it is in the last test match, in this fourth test match, he was playing with the side strain. At times, he was a little erratic. But otherwise, Mitchell Stark, what a series he had. Pat Cummins, can't praise him enough. I think, in the first test match, he was probably a little undercooked. But from then on, he ran in, and he's an intelligent bowler, a lot like Jasprit Bumrah. So yeah, Pat Cummins, his leadership, his bowling, and then Josh Hazelwood for little time he played was extremely effective, and then Scott Boland to walk in and to have the impact that he has had. Oh, the story of Scott Boland. It's just Australia has a great great pace bowling attack. Yes, it's aging. I don't know for how long this attack would stay together or would last. Nathan Lyon is no spring chicken either, and this series, the biggest shock for I think everyone watching was how the wickets were. I mean, Nathan Lyon in Australian conditions, especially, is a great weapon, but they created wickets that took Nathan Lyon completely out of the game. But despite of that, whenever Nathan Lyon had the chance, he came in through not just smart bowling but also gamesmanship, this and that. He had an impact even with the bat in the second innings of the Melbourne Test match. That would be a very important innings. So Pat Cummins as well again with the bat. Stephen Smith coming back to form for Australia, that was a huge factor. Travis Head, the way he started and the way today he ended. Travis had forever a thorn in India's side. And the only two people I think in Australia would we have questions about right now is Usman Khwaja and Manas Labuschagne. Yes, Labuschagne has got a couple of 50s here and there, but he has never looked fluent. I always thought Manas Labuschagne was the luckiest cricketer because in his initial years, the amount of luck he had, maybe that sort of probably covered some of his flaws, which is now coming to the fore. So yeah, these two people, Khwaja and Labuschagne. But remember that there are some players who are out due to injuries who will come back for the Australian team. And Bo Webster is a great find. Sam Constas, as I said, I think he should cut out the horseassery and just knuckle down and play Test cricket because he is better than what this last two innings of his was. Today the way he got out of that slog was just he didn't need to do it. I felt. I mean. So anyways, that's the long and short of it. I'll see you guys again soon down the line, and till then, take care of yourself, guys, and please again do consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. I'll see you.